I never thought I would be the type of guy telling a story like this, but life has a way of proving you wrong in the most painful way possible. My wife Sarah and I had been married for 8 years. We met in college, built a life together, bought a house, and everyone around us thought we were the perfect couple. I believed it too. She was my world, my partner, my best friend, the person I trusted more than anyone. And then, there was Mark. Mark had been my best friend since high school. We'd been through everything together. Fights, breakups, jobs, even failures. He was the one I asked to be my best man at our wedding. I thought of him as family. Looking back, maybe I should have noticed the little things earlier. The way Sarah would laugh just a little too hard at his jokes. The way Mark always seemed to show up when I wasn't home. Or the fact that he suddenly became really interested in helping Sarah with small errands, things he never cared about before. But when you trust two people with your whole heart, your brain doesn't want to see the red flags. Mine definitely didn't. The first crack in the illusion came one night about 6 months before our anniversary. Sarah said she was going to meet a friend from work for dinner, nothing unusual. But when she got home, she had her hair slightly messy, like she'd been in a rush, and her perfume, the one I bought her, was almost overwhelming. She claimed the restaurant was loud and smoky, so she wanted to take a quick shower. I brushed it off. I told myself, she's tired. She just wants to relax. But something about it stuck with me. A few weeks later, I went to grab her phone to look up a recipe. She had no problem with me using her phone before. We trusted each other. But this time, she suddenly jumped up from the couch and said, "Oh, I'll find it for you." She smiled, but her eyes told a different story. That night, when she was asleep, I laid awake. And that's when the paranoia started creeping in. I began noticing small changes. She was texting more often, always with the phone tilted away from me. She started working late more often, even though her job rarely required overtime. And every time I asked who she was talking to, she had the same answer. Just friends. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. One night, I got my confirmation. I had to stay late at work, unexpectedly. I texted Sarah that I'd be home around 11 p.m., but I finished early and decided to surprise her with takeout from her favorite place. When I pulled into our street, I noticed Mark's car parked 2 houses down from mine. At first, I laughed to myself. No way. It can't be what I think it is. He probably just stopped by to drop something off. But when I quietly unlocked the front door and walked inside, the house was dark, except for the faint glow coming from our bedroom upstairs. I froze. My heart was pounding so hard, I could hear it in my ears. Step by step, I walked up the stairs, praying I was wrong. And then I heard it. Her laugh, his voice, the sound that shattered my entire world. I didn't barge in, I couldn't. My legs literally felt like they were made of stone. Instead, I turned around, walked out, and sat in my car for what felt like hours. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront them immediately. No screaming, no fighting, no. I wanted proof, and I wanted revenge. The next morning, I woke up with one thought burning in my mind. I need proof. If I confronted Sarah and Mark without evidence, they'd just deny it, gaslight me, maybe even make me look crazy. No, I wasn't going to give them that chance. So I started planning. First, I bought a small voice recorder, nothing fancy, just something I could hide in the bedroom when I went on a business trip. A week later, when I pretended to be out of town for work, I left the recorder under the dresser. I told Sarah I wouldn't be home until the following evening. That night, I sat in my car a few blocks away, waiting, restless, checking my phone every few minutes. The next morning, I went back home, hugged Sarah, acted normal. And when she left for work, I checked the recorder, and there it was, laughter, his voice, her voice. And then, things I can't even describe without my stomach turning. My hands were shaking as I listened. But in a strange way, I felt calm too, because now I had proof. I wasn't done. I needed more. I set up a hidden camera in the living room, angled just enough to catch anyone walking into the bedroom. Within a week, I had all the confirmation I needed. Mark entering our house when I wasn't home. Sometimes for just an hour, sometimes for the whole evening. Each video was like another knife in my back. but it also sharpened my resolve. Then came the question, what do I do with this? Do I scream? Do I file for divorce quietly? Do I fight Mark in the street? No, none of that felt right. They had humiliated me. They had destroyed the trust of years. I wanted them exposed, and I wanted everyone, our friends, our families, to see what kind of people they really were. That's when the idea hit me. Our anniversary was only a month away. Sarah had already been hinting about throwing a party, inviting family and close friends. She wanted to celebrate our love. The irony made me laugh bitterly. So I agreed. I told her it was a wonderful idea, that I'd take care of the slideshow, a little surprised to show our journey together. She smiled, kissed me, told me how much she loved me. I almost choked on the words. For the next few weeks, I worked in secret. On my laptop, I started building the presentation. The first half was sweet, harmless. Pictures of us through the years, our wedding, vacations, birthdays. Something to make the audience feel warm and nostalgic. But the second half, that was my masterpiece. Hidden in those slides were the recordings, the clips from the hidden camera, the undeniable truth of their betrayal. I spliced them carefully, making sure the audio was clear, the video sharp. Every second was designed to leave no doubt. As the day got closer, I felt strangely calm. Sarah was excited talking about decorations, food, outfits. Mark was helping too. Of course he was. They thought they were clever. They thought I was blind, but the countdown was on. The night of the anniversary finally arrived. Our house was decorated with candles and flowers, soft music playing in the background. Friends and family began filling the living room, laughing, clinking glasses, congratulating us. Sarah looked stunning in her dress, smiling at everyone, playing the role of the perfect wife. Mark was there too, acting like nothing was wrong, shaking hands, joking, sipping his drink like he owned the place. I played along. I smiled, thanked everyone for coming, gave Sarah a kiss on the cheek. Inside, my chest felt like fire, but my face stayed calm. After dinner, when people were relaxed, I stood up and said, "Thank you all for being here tonight. 8 years of marriage is something worth celebrating." I prepared a little surprise for Sarah, a slideshow of our journey together. Everyone clapped. Sarah's eyes lit up. She grabbed my hand and whispered, "You're so sweet." I smiled back, but she had no idea what was coming. The lights dimmed. The screen flickered on. The first part was exactly what she expected. Photos of our college days, our wedding, trips, birthdays. People laughed, clapped, even teared up. Sarah squeezed my hand, looking proud. And then, the tone shifted. The laughter stopped when the next slide appeared. A grainy clip of Mark entering our house when I wasn't home. A hush fell over the room. Then came the audio. Sarah's voice, Mark's voice, unmistakable. At first, muffled laughter. Then, more. The room went dead silent. Sarah froze. Her smile vanished. Mark's face turned pale. The clips rolled on. More recordings, more proof. Each second was another dagger of truth cutting through the silence. Gasps, whispers, a few people covering their mouths in shock. I didn't say a word. I just stood there, letting the evidence play out in front of everyone. When it ended, I finally spoke. This is the reality of my marriage. The people I trusted most chose betrayal. And I thought all of you should know the truth. The room erupted. Sarah jumped up, tears streaming down her face, begging me to stop. Mark tried to defend himself, stuttering, saying it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything. But no one believed them. Not after what they'd just seen. Her parents were in shock. My friends glared at Mark like they wanted to tear him apart. The perfect image Sarah had worked so hard to maintain was gone, shattered in seconds. I picked up my glass, raised it, and said calmly, "Happy anniversary, Sarah." And with that, I walked out of my own house, leaving them to deal with the wreckage. That night, I checked into a hotel. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Divorce papers were in motion within a week. I lost a marriage and a best friend, but I walked away with my dignity intact and with the knowledge that neither of them could ever fool me again. Sometimes revenge isn't about yelling or fighting. Sometimes it's about letting the truth speak louder than anything else. And trust me, that night, The truth was deafening.